And that is, for companies like mine that are doing work, that we're performing labor that would otherwise be done by white-collar workers, we charge by the hour. We charge by the hour that is saved by people in our customers' companies. And we undercut minimum wage because we can. There's no law to say what we can charge. So we charge £12.70 an hour, which is exactly a penny less than you and me are legally allowed to sell our time for. Maybe we should have a minimum wage for robots. Not because robots need a quality of life, or not because they need to be treated fairly, not for any of the same reasons why we might want to have a minimum wage for people, but to create maybe a little bit more of a level playing field. I was talking in the drinks before we started the talk this evening about self-driving cars. And today we have taxi drivers who are working all hours of the day and night to make ends meet. And obviously they charge for their time. When self-driving cars come about, what we don't want is those taxi services to undercut human labor immediately day one. What we want to have is some sort of way of throttling the adoption of the technology in order to help make the transition fair. So a minimum wage for robotic labor might be one way of achieving this. And the second thing, for companies like mine, where essentially we're competing with the labor markets, our customers are paying us to do work which they would have otherwise paid a human to have done. It seems unfair that we're taxed on our profit, whereas you and me, as humans, when we sell our time, when we sell our labor, we're taxed on our revenue. We're taxed on our top line number, but AI companies like mine are taxed on the bottom line number. And the reason that's so unfair is because AI companies like mine, we don't make a profit. We will never make a profit. Structurally, the incentives are there to not ever make a profit. The incentive structure is there to help us grow as fast as possible and then to return the proceeds back to our investors. And so for our companies like mine to be taxed on profits when we're competing with human labor, which is taxed on its revenue, that just seems utterly inequitable. And so those are just two ideas of things that we might want to innovate around from a public policy perspective in order to make the playing field a little bit fairer and to make the transition from where we are now to where we might be 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now a much easier thing for us to bear.